I'm Jaclyn Johnson.
And I'm Marina Middleton.
And this is WorkParty, a podcast that's part work and part party. WorkParty celebrates a new generation of women who are redefining the meaning of work on their own terms and having fun while doing it.
In this podcast, we are diving into all the areas of being a working woman: mind, body, and business. No topic is off limit.
Real talk and hot takes. Think of us as your internet work wives. This is WorkParty,
the podcast.
Wait, where's the champagne?
Today's guest is someone we know, love, and are always excited to catch up with. Ashley Jappe, head of marketing at FRE Non-Alcoholic Wine trailblazer and low-key lifestyle, and I'll say fashion icon. If you've been to a Create Cultivate event in the last few years, or honestly any industry gathering where the wine is flowing, you've probably seen Ashley, glass of free wine in hand, building community, championing intention, and redefining what it means to opt out without missing out. Over the past few years, she's been on her own personal journey, one that includes navigating major social moments like South by Southwest and, of course, our Future Summit, completely sober, while still showing up as her full magnetic self. And it's that lived experience that makes her leadership at FRE feel so real. She's not just marketing a non-alcoholic wine, she's building a brand that makes room for a new kind of lifestyle, one rooted in balance, joy, and self-connection. In this episode, we're going to dive deep on what it means to make lifestyle changes that actually reflect who you are, how to hold your own in social settings without a drink in hand, love that, and the magic of building a brand that aligns with your evolution. Plus, Ashley's giving us a sneak peek of FRE's new Sober Curious City Guide and what to expect from them at the Create and Cultivate Festival this summer. So let's get right into it.
Well, I mean, what an introduction. And I just have to give all the love back and say how phenomenal it is to be here with both of you. You've both been so instrumental. You're both really gifted, as you know, in helping women show up as the fullest version of themselves. And I feel like that's why this partnership has always felt so natural, because it's a lot of what non-alc brings to the table too. And we'll get to that today. But what I love most about this moment and really this entire conversation is that it's not about choosing one way to be, like it's about being open to new ways of connecting, of course, with each other, but ultimately with ourselves, because when we know ourselves more, we choose the right people who amplify and reflect that version of ourselves. Because we're all craving community, like we're searching for something that's deeper and not just people to be around, but people who you can be real with. And so for me, the switch to non-alc has never been about labels like sober or not. It's really about feeling like I belong in any room, a drink in hand or not, and wanting other people to feel that same way.
I love that. And we couldn't agree more in terms of like the partnership aligning. It feels very organic. I do want to just call out a moment that I had at South by where everybody all day was walking around with a glass. And I was like, everyone is just drinking all day. Like, how
are they going to be here?
I was so nervous. And it was free the whole time. And everybody felt so good after. And I just remember laughing, being like, wow, everyone's going to be smashed. And it was the complete opposite.
That's the beauty about non-alc, right? Like you can still have the experience, you have the glass in hand, but you're present in the moment, which is really cool.
Yeah. But talk to us a little bit about the big personal lifestyle shift that you've had and like what sparked that shift for you?
Yeah. For me, it was really about being present. I started thinking about how I wanted to show up in everyday life. So for me, it wasn't about cutting anything out. It was really more about tuning in. And I'm still in the wine world. I'm still, go out. I love a good night with my girlfriends, martinis, glass of wine. But the shift in mindset for me helped me recalibrate what connection really looks like. You guys know I have a high involvement career, energetic girls, a husband, a routine, hobbies. So for me, like right now, balance is more important than ever before. And so finding non-alc has allowed me to lean into that version of myself who can still accomplish all of that, but also allow me to stay connected.
I love that. Yeah, I totally agree. I think like there's been this kind of groundswell movement around not just going out to feel, a little fuzzy, a little like not all there, especially when you're at an event like a Create and Cultivate as well. It's not always easy, being the one not drinking. That is for sure, especially in this industry where happy hours, cocktail events, it feels like everything is a drink. So
Mhm.
how did you get comfortable owning that identity? I think that's something that people would really want advice on. I think there's not like a lot of peer pressure, but sometimes you do feel that pressure when someone's like, can we get a drink? Because you want to have that meeting, you want to have that connection, but you're not sure how to show up.
Yeah, I reframed it. I stopped thinking about it as not drinking and started thinking about it as showing up intentionally, I realized that I didn't always have to pick a lane, I'm still involved in full ABV, but now I have more ways to connect depending on what's needed in that moment, and the flexibility is really beautiful and freeing.
I love that. Yeah, it's really nice. And I think it's one of those things where you kind of learn it over time. And I feel like you feel really empowered. I also think there's been such an amazing kind of trend to embrace non-drinking, where I think it's like if someone goes out and is like, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, it doesn't feel strange or weird. It just feels like the most normal thing. And oftentimes I find when I say that, the other person is like, I'm not drinking either. And I find that it's like this really kind of great communal experience.
hmm It really is. I mean, the non-out community is really cool, right? Everyone's out there and there's less of a stigma around it. And it's more about where you're at in the moment. And again, it comes back to community. And if you're in the right community and if you're curious and if you're exploring that type of lifestyle, people are really supportive now. And it really brings a new dimension into life that I really didn't know existed either.
Yeah, I love how aligned you are, obviously, with Free specifically. Like you are made for this role in this company. But what's cool is just there is so much personal lifestyle shift that overlaps with your professional world at Free, which is probably what makes it feel so organic because it is very authentic to who you are. How has your own experiences really influenced the way that you're leading the brand?
Yeah, it's been such a natural overlap. I'm not creating from a concept. It's my experience. And I think to your point, that's the true magic because I'm not selling anything. I don't have to sell anything. It's a part of who I am. And I want other people to feel this way too. And I've been on a path to find myself and connect with others in more meaningful ways. And since that's what everyone is looking for, it's a hard path to navigate unless you truly know yourself, right? So finding my core, finding the beauty in the details has been a transformative journey. And non-alc has really allowed me to support that journey in a way that I can both be highly connected to all of the entrepreneurial duties, but then still understand it and connect with people one on one.
Yeah, so let's go back a little bit when you first joined. We always say brands should reflect real people, not just trends. I know we feel very strongly about that, and it feels like Free really does walk the walk. How intentional was that when you were joining, and what are some of the steps that you took to ensure that that was consistent throughout?
Yeah, that was day one thinking. I knew that I wanted to build free from a place of authenticity, not restriction. And I wanted people to discover free and think, oh, wow, what a cool way to connect, right? Because we've always had so much pressure to show up in moments and to be a specific version of ourselves. But this really allows us to come to the table as we are. And I think that more and more people are looking for that and appreciating that true and authentic connection where you get to connect on a deeper level.
Yeah, and I think oftentimes, like, with drinking, it's correlated with like a celebration. So let's talk about celebrations. Obviously, we're all about the champagne toast, but now we're like, pour us a glass of free sparkling brut, which we were able to have at our six-figure founder retreat in Miami, or at least I was having a ton of glasses because they're so good. So how has your idea of celebration changed?
Yeah, my idea of celebration has really expanded. It used to be tied to milestones and alcohol, and now it's about energy.
Mhm.
So, free makes room for both, whether you're toasting with a sparkling brut or something else with friends, it's less about the bottle and more about the presence. Again, it just gives you so many more things to consider and to be grateful for and to celebrate when it's not just tied to the traditional way of celebration.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the idea of energy because I think that's so much part of it. Like I remember even at the six-figure founder retreat dinner, having the sparkling brew, and then we had a wine pairing with the meal. But I was able to like wake up and do my morning workout and be able
Yes.
to feel amazing the next day because we're leading a retreat. Like that's
Uh-huh.
all energy, right? It's all an energy exchange. So, feeling your best is amazing. You're also helping people rethink like what a night out is, or even like a work event, a night work event can look like. What's
Yeah.
been your favorite non-alc social moment lately?
I mean, you mentioned the Create and Cultivate Six-Figure Founder event in Miami, and I think it's still a highlight for me because that's when the light bulb went off and I knew it wasn't a solo mission. Like people were looking for new ways to connect and it resonated with them in a highly social setting. And I knew that it was connecting the right product to the right people and that the product was not just about conversion. Like sometimes we get so obsessed with conversion, but the when the product adds value to someone's life beyond just the point of consumption and they can lean into who they are and what they want to do and the morning workout and being present for all of the great speakers that we had. So that's one way that I feel like we're evolving what an event, work event looks like or what connecting with people can look like. And so that's definitely one of my favorite events so far.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm grateful you said that because we couldn't agree more. I just feel like I know I keep using the word authentic or organic, but it felt very natural to how we
Good.
all wanted to experience that night, how we all wanted to experience that retreat. And it also tasted exactly like regular wine. And I think that that is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
shocks people, right? Like people expect it to not taste good. And I'm like, no, no, this tastes exactly the same. Like, if not actually better.
totally, totally.
So obviously we both live in Napa and have our wine, backgrounds and knowledge and things like that. But what I love about Free and what you had told me is like the process in which it's made. So can you tell us a little bit about what makes it unique?
Yeah, most people don't realize that free goes through the exact same vinification process as traditional wine. The grapes are harvested, they're crushed, fermented, just like any other wine. But here is where it's different and it gets really cool is that we use a proprietary spinning cone and vacuum distillation to remove the alcohol after the wine is fully developed. So that means you get the structure, the complexity, the aroma, and all the nuances that people to expect with a regular glass of wine. So what people don't know is that it's not a shortcut; it's full-on winemaking. And then there are added technologies that are entered to allow you to enjoy a non-alc wine just like a full ABV glass of wine.
It's so exciting to kind of see you guys taking free everywhere. So let's talk a little bit about the Sober Curious City Guide and what's next. So you're launching this Free's new Sober Curious City Guide, which we are so excited about. Can you just give us a little sneak peek inside?
Yes, I am so excited about this city guide. So, we all know that brands have been launching city guides, but what is really cool about what we're doing is that there's a spin on it where it's your go-to finder, whether you're, exploring a new city or whether you're, going out with your girlfriends or your partner. It includes NA bars, wellness pop-up spots, and great mocktails and also cultural adventures, right? We all love those adventures that make a city feel alive beyond the bar scene. So we are launching our first city, Miami, on 6/20. And then we'll do the Hamptons, Seattle, Chicago, Nashville, Poconos, Austin, Portland, and then Los Angeles. So we are thrilled about it. We know that the community is going to love it, and we have some cool little Easter eggs throughout too.
What city surprised you the most while building it, and how are you really hoping people use this guide?
Yeah, Nashville is the city that surprised me in the best way. It's always been a destination for a good time, but now there's just such incredible NA bars and a welcoming community. And we actually, this is an insider's drop. We haven't released this information, but we have a Soho House Nashville wellness event with FRE on August 22nd weekend. It's likely going to sell out quickly. I think there are only 30 spots. So if you are into wellness and non-alc and having a good time with great people, you must book as soon as possible. But what we also hope people use this guide in is to add value to to their lifestyles. We hope it adds a little fun and it broadens their horizons a little bit.
I love it so much. Also, the Nashville Soho House is
Gorgeous.
gorgeous. And I think one of the biggest that they have in like all of Soho houses. I'm almost positive it's the biggest. It's so gorgeous.
Stunning.
Yeah,
We're going to
we
have
did
the
our-
best time.
Yeah, we did our Blueprint Mastermind dinner there and it was unbelievable. We absolutely loved it.
Oh, incredible.
So excited. I love a city guide so much because I think now more than ever, people are seeking out these types of experiences and like don't know where to go to find them or don't know the right places to go. So I think that's so exciting. You've had this full circle moment going from, I'm exploring this lifestyle to I'm now helping shape a brand that supports it. What's been the most meaningful part of your journey in your career?
Oh, that's a big one. I think seeing other people feel like someone sees them and understands that life is more than just celebrations. It's about seeing someone as a whole person. And that moment where someone says, I didn't know that I needed this. That's really the full circle moment for me. And the most beautiful thing about FRE is that it's not about FRE. It's about the community that we're building. And people feel that too. So I think that that's the most magical part of what we're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously, Free is going to be at the Create and Cultivate Festival this summer. Who are you most excited to see? How excited are you guys to show up? All the things.
I mean, hands down, Dochi. You know, she's an icon. She's a legend. I just think that you can see people's souls sometimes, and she's both vulnerable and then she has this crazy strength too. So I admire women who are redefining culture in that way. And then, of course, my girls, Jaclyn and Marina, I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be such a great time.
No, it's going to be the best time. We always have so much fun. So I'm so excited about that. And I too am excited for Dochi. So we will all be front row together with our free wines.
So great. You said redefining culture, and I do want to call out that this is something that you are actively doing with FRE. And I think that I do wish more brands talked about the fact that it's about the person versus just the brand. And it's so, especially with something like non-alc, it's so amazing to have the decision be made for the person wanting to feel good, wanting to have amazing meetings, wanting to wake up and work out and all of that stuff. And so I love that you've integrated that into the city guide with wellness stops and in all of your activations, even the ones that you've done with Create and Cultivate, whether it's like the affirmation wall or like things that really make them feel like they're pouring back into themselves. I love that.
I love it. And I can't wait to continue our journey together. We have some exciting events coming up. I mean, festival, of course, but you guys are really just such a big part of how women are able to think different, and you create the space and the time for it too. So thank you for being incredible partners. And I'm just a biggest fan of both of you and can't wait to continue this journey together.
Yes, of course. And obviously, before we close, can you tell everyone where they can find FRE, grab a bottle or three, and dive into the sober curious universe that you're building?
Yes. Okay. Well, first, follow us at FRE Wines on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're looking for the product, we've got you. You can go to freewines.com and there is a store finder for you where you can find the closest place that sells FRE. But most of all, we just want you to join our community, like buy the product if you want at the right time, but more importantly, like be a part of a community that's thinking different and that's allowing you to be the fullest version of yourself and is just going to be there along the way with your journey and being fully supportive.
Absolutely. Well, we obviously adore you. We're so inspired by your intentionality, your leadership, and your ability to make sober look so damn chic. So thank you so much for joining us, sharing your story. We're so glad to have you guys as partners, to have you at the festival, and to have you in our lives.
Oh, same. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Work Party. If you like what you heard, follow, leave a review, rate the pod, or slide into our DMs.
Check out the different ways you can create and cultivate on our website, createcultivate.com. From retreats and masterminds to our summits and festival.
We have different experiences to support you through your entrepreneurial journey from launch
to legacy.
Follow us at Create Cultivate on all platforms. And don't forget, work hard.
Party on.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.